calls us to follow government. And I got wrapped up in what was being told to me, in what was on the TV, what the media was proclaiming.
Not the media. Fox. It's a distinction with a difference. What were you hearing and seeing be reinforced that made you so revved up?
I would basically say, I really got into it when the election started. When election night happened and everything was going on, I truly believed that Trump won the election. As of right now, I acknowledge and I know that Joe Biden is our president. That's not a mystery. That's a fact. But I felt like, maybe I believed that America was being robbed of a president, and I now know that was a lie.
Did you not read or see anything else except what was on Fox and Newsmax and that whole ilk of right-wing propaganda?
I can't recall everything that I saw. I will be honest. We're now, how many months from it? This is my first time on live TV too, so it's one of those things where it's like I can't recall every single thing that I saw, that I heard, and everything like that. I can just say, I believed what was being told to me.
Do you blame Fox?
Chris, may I say something?
Yeah, hold on one second, Counselor. Do you blame Fox? Do you blame former President Trump? Who do you blame?
I blame myself. I take full accountability for my actions. And because of that, I have gone to God and asked for forgiveness. I've prayed, God, please forgive me. I take full responsibility for my actions. This isn't a cop-out, right? God tells us to come to him and beg for forgiveness. And that's what I've done. And that's what I asked for America. I asked for America to please forgive me. I shouldn't have been there that day. I shouldn't have been involved on those Capitol steps. You've seen the pictures. There's no secret. But I pray, like I pray to God, that you please forgive me. And that's all I can really say.
When did you realize you'd been misled?
I've realized I've been misled a few days after, immediately after. What happened that day should not have happened. And I don't care who you are, what happened that day and what I saw that day should not have happened. We should not attack law enforcement. We should not attack our American government. The Bible does say no violence. The Bible does say to follow the government, whether you believe them or not. And that's the stance that I hold. And I regret my actions that day, and I take full responsibility for them.
Counsel, I'm sorry I cut you off. What do you want to say?
Don't be sorry for cutting me off. What I wanted to say is, and what has been totally overlooked in my presenting him to the public for the purpose not of saying let him go, but for the purpose of saying the guy that walks away with the orange face is the guy that ought to be standing up here and having the guts to admit what he's caused. What Anthony did that has been overlooked is, and it's on video on YouTube, he stood at the Capitol steps after telling the police that he was going to try and calm the crowd down, and you hear his voice crying out, "Be quiet, quiet down," and somebody hands him a bullhorn, and he says, "This is supposed to be a peaceful demonstration. This is supposed to be a peaceful demonstration. Sit down." They start circling him and say, "Are you a cop?" And he got out of the way for a moment. You then see Anthony positioned in a doorway with his back toward the surging mob and the police standing in front of Anthony as he's trying to use his body to prevent the crowd from getting to the police. And that is in video. Your eyes will not lie to you.
Oh,
so
true.
This guy that went down there with no weapons went down there and tried to do the best he could. And like the rest of us, There was moments of weakness where he didn't do
Right,
just
but-
the right, perfect thing.
Again, I'm not here to litigate the case, not because I can't, but because it's frankly not my interest. My interest is understanding the motivation. But to be very clear, counselor, it's the moments of weakness are all that matters, right? The client was also there doing lots of violent things with a tactical vest on and a 3%er badge, which is a question for you, Anthony. I get one thing if you say I'm a passive observer of all this information. I'm not even into politics. I didn't even vote in 2016 or 2020, but this was, the kind of faith that I had invested in myself with religion that became misapplied. And why did you have a tactical vest on? Why did you have a 3%er badge? It's a bad group of people.
So to comment on the 3%er badge first, I honestly had no clue what that group was, or that it was still a group. I enjoy history. In school, I excelled at American history, and I just assumed that 3%er meant, people that I want to say basically founded America. I honestly really didn't fully understand what it meant, and I will say, after that day, I fully ripped that off and regretted every minute of having that on my vest.
Do you consider
Tactical vest?
Do you consider yourself a white pride person? You think white people are better than
No.
non-white people?
No, absolutely not.
Because that's
I
what
think
they're about. You know that, right?
in
And
God's
I don't care
eyes-
how they define themselves.
I did not know that.
Look, I know what we are
I
in
did not know
Jesus'
that.
eyes. Everybody should know what we are in
I did
Jesus'
not know
eyes.
that.
All right. Because, that's the
Yes,
point.
we're all created equal.
Right, that's the problem, Anthony, is that you wound up doing something that is anathema to your faith. And I know that there were a lot of people
I
in that
understand
crowd
that.
with you who call themselves Christians. But anybody can call themselves a Christian. I could call myself an imam right
Absolutely.
now. It doesn't mean anything. We only know what we show. And so to the people who are going to watch this tonight, and I'm one of them, who will say, yeah, you're saying the right thing now. You're coached by a good lawyer who's telling you this is your only way. What do you want to say to them?
I wasn't coached by anybody.
Well, you got
I
a
wanna
good
say
lawyer.
I
So he's
wasn't
telling
coached.
so he's putting you in the right
Yeah.
position. What do you say to people who say that's what
I
this
wasn't-
is? Positioning.
Yeah, I wasn't coached by anybody. I wasn't put in a position. I want to say that I made a mistake. I truly made a mistake that I wish I could take back, and I know I can't. But what I can do is show to people that if you've made a mistake, it doesn't define you. Okay? What defines you is how you are in God's eyes. And that's the stance I take through and through. That's coming straight from the heart. That what you've done in your past does not define you as long as you turn from it. I'm not a white supremacist. I'm not a 3%er. I'm not all of these things that the media is trying to paint me. I made a mistake. I put my faith in something other than God and Jesus Christ. And that is the God's honest truth. And I pray today that people can truly see that in me, because I wake up every day with the faces of the people, and I regret it every single day of my life.
What do you
And that
want
is the God's honest truth.
What do you want the people over at Fox, and what do you want the former president to know?
Honestly,
Yeah.
that we need unity. That this world needs to unify. This country needs unity, and we need to stop being divided, and we need to come together, show love, show God's love, and be unified as one. And that's coming straight from my heart, and that's what I not only want Fox, CNN, past President Donald Trump, I want the world to know, because I understand the world's going to see this, that we need unity, and we need to stop being divided. And I understand that I was a part of what divided a lot of us. And I, again, beg for forgiveness every single day.
Anthony, I
Chris,
appreciate
can you give me 30 seconds?
you. Well, I'll give you the last word. Go ahead.
30 seconds, that's all.
Go ahead.
I followed your career. I bought this shirt 3 years ago because in 2001 I got kicked off of MSNBC when they were auditioning me as a legal correspondent because I said BS, but I didn't use the initials. I bought this shirt 3 years ago and I thought someday I may end up on Chris Cuomo's show because I've watched your career. You're an excellent cross-examiner. You would have been a fantastic prosecutor. Number one, I'm not a good attorney. I am a superb attorney. Number two, I am an honest attorney. Number three, I did not coach one single word or put it in his mouth. It's him and him alone. Number four, in your leading question, you said, well, you've done a lot of violent things. One, he got a face mask to put it on so he wasn't getting juiced in the eyes. Two, he threw a bottle at a protester who was going to pummel that cop, and because it went in the direction of the cop, they said he threw it at the cop who's being dropped down to the ground. Number three, he climbed in a window and tried to put furniture up against the door so the police wouldn't come in because he heard that somebody had been shot dead and he was trying to prevent violence. That is not doing a lot of violent things. Excellent questions, leading questions, but not accurate.
The answer goes to the accuracy. 5 felonies speak for themselves. I didn't mean coached in terms of told what to say, but a good lawyer helps somebody how to put on their best representation of themselves in a case. That's what I mean. Counselor Hurley, I appreciate you being here. Anthony, thank you for taking the opportunity. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, be well.